Hey everybody, welcome to our Zoom chat. Today is January 15th, and we are here with Warrior Nation and Team Arise. Super exciting, and we have Rose Camuto-Smith being our guest speaker today. Rose became a coach 2 years ago as a free lead, just wanting to know about another program. She lost 30 pounds with Shakeology, but heard about the coaching opportunity and just decided to go for it. She's been doing Beachbody part-time, along with working full-time as an athletic trainer at a high school 6 days a week. She's currently 1-star diamond and in Success Club 5 All-Star. So Rose, thank you so much. And you guys, if your house is noisy, if you could just do us a favor and go ahead and mute yourself, that would be awesome. Rose, thanks.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me, Joanna. Before I start, I don't know if you guys saw my post in Team Spirit today, but I actually dropped down to Ruby. And I'm saying this to people because nobody ever talks about it. It's like one of those secrets that's kind of like hidden in the Beachbody world. But people do drop rank. Like it happens. I went from 2-star to 1-star to Ruby to 1-star to Ruby. So it happens. But it's all about your mindset and just getting through that, going down to different ranks and just knowing why you're in this business and that you're going to be, pushing forward and not let that kind of like get you in the dumps. So just want to say that off the bat. So Joanna wanted me to talk about time management. And the reason why she wanted me to do it is because I took the Franklin Covey time management training that Beachbody used to offer. They don't offer it anymore just because they weren't getting a lot of people joining it. And one of Denise Needham, she used to kind of run that whole back scenes of Beachbody, and she's not with us anymore. So I'm going to, as quickly and concisely as possible, go through what I learned. This was a 2-day full course, so we learned a lot. So I'll try to stick to the most important things. And I would kind of like this to be where you guys are interacting with me. So if I ask you all a question, please feel free to like yell something out, and we'll just go like that. So I'm actually going to share my screen because I do have photos that I want you guys to see. And I'm actually going to be following along. They gave us a little book, and it's called The 5 Choices. It's called The 5 Choices to Extraordinary Productivity. So those are the 5 things that we're going to go over tonight. Let me share my screen. Okay, so right here you should see the banner for the 5 choices. I'll go over them. The first one is to act on the important and not react to the urgent. The second one is go for extraordinary, don't settle for ordinary. The third is schedule the big rocks, don't sort the gravel. Number 4 is rule your technology, don't let it rule you. And the 5th is fuel your fire, don't burn out. So I'll go over them as quickly as I can with hitting on the key points. So number 1 is act on the important. Oh, I'm trying to get out of this screen and show you a new one. All right, do you guys see the number 1 choice showing up? Someone shake their heads, yes? Okay. All right, so acting on the important. Do you have the ability to clearly evaluate which choices will give you the highest return on your time and attention? So what this means, if you read here, act on the important, this will get you ahead by doing the right things instead of reacting to the urgent. So a lot of times, we'll be on a certain task and we'll get a phone call or we'll get a text message or we'll get a Facebook message popping up in our face. And what do? We completely stop and we answer that phone. We answer that text message. We answer that message on Facebook. And the task that we were originally doing completely got derailed. So tell me if this ever happened to you where, you're with somebody, you're with a friend out to lunch or whatever, just hanging out. They get a phone call and they pick up. And you're like, well, hello, I'm here. Like, shouldn't I be the important thing that's going on right now, not the phone call? But that's one thing that happens nowadays is people are so quick to being in that mode of just reacting to something that they're not actually taking the time to stop, to think and ask themselves, is it really important for me to be answering this phone call? Or is it more important for me to be with my friend, be with my mom, or in Beachbody world, send out my invites, or be with my challenge, look at my challenge group messages. The next one I'm going to show you is actually breaking down how to categorize what is important. And if you want, I can send all these pictures, photos to Joanna, and she can send them out. So is this the one I want to show? Yes. So this is the time management quadrant that they have. So on this axis, you can see at the bottom, quadrant 3 and quadrant 4 are completely not important at all. At the top, quadrant 1 and quadrant 2, they're important. And then it goes from urgent to non-urgent. So for example, we'll go at quadrant 1. So quadrant 1 are activities that are emergencies. So crisis, deadlines, medical emergencies, pressing problems, last minute preparations, or if you were in college and you had to write a term paper that was due in 10 hours, that would kind of be what we call a Q1. It's those urgent things that have to be, done, and they're really important. You don't always have control, especially if it's a medical emergency. Those types of things you don't have control over. But my term paper, I did have control over. I should have been planning better to where it wasn't going to end up being in this Q1, being an emergency. I should have planned ahead of time. That way it was more not urgent, but important. So the green, this Q2, this is where we want to live as much as possible in our daily lives. This Q2 is where we have most of our productivity come through. So if we spend most of our time here, we're going to see a lot of productivity. If we spend a lot of our time reacting to emergencies and crises, or in Q3, where it's not really important, it's a lot of wasted time. And especially, you don't want any time being in quadrant 4. Quadrant 4 is, it's not urgent and it's not important. So things like quadrant 4 would be Facebook scrolling. Yes, we are all guilty. So am I. But, TV watching, some phone calls, some emails will be here. Try as best as possible to stay away from this because it gives you zero productivity back. Quadrant 3, it's not important, but it seems urgent. Other people's problems. So if you have little kids, I don't have kids, so I can't say, but if when they poke you, mom, to them, it might seem very important, very urgent. They want your attention, but it's probably not something important. It's probably, Johnny stole my pencil. I don't know. So these are also things that you don't want to spend a lot of your time on. And these things, some emails and phone calls, when you schedule it properly and you have focus, it can go into quadrant 2. So a lot of these time wasters in quadrant 1, 3, and 4 can actually be planned correctly and actually be a Q2 where it's focused time, you're having it's planned, you're preparing for it, and you're actually getting a lot of productivity back. So in Beachbody world, since, we're all Beachbody coaches, if we have, we're inviting, we are being product of the product, we're doing our workouts, that would all be in the Q2, because we're planning when we're working out. We should be planning what times we're inviting people. We shouldn't be Facebook scrolling. We shouldn't be, if we get a message from a coach on Facebook and they're freaking out, if it's somebody new, I wouldn't even say look at it. Sometimes I go on Facebook and I literally shut down that message where I don't get any messages, and I have a specific time just to look at my messages, because you can totally get bogged down with a message and then you're on to something else and you forgot what you already did, and then your whole kind of day is like blown and you're like, oh crap, I didn't get any inviting in. Does anybody have any questions with those 4 quadrants? I know I went through them super fast, but it's all about just acting on the important and really stopping and asking yourself the question, is this important now? Can this be scheduled for later at a better time? This was a really good quote that I wanted to read. So many of us spend our waking hours getting things done without ever stopping to ask, are these the right things to be doing? So are you doing so much in your day that you just seem like you're running crazy, and then when it's 8, 9 o'clock at night, you're like, what did I actually get done? Like, I know I do that all the time. Sometimes this is really bad. I'm driving in the car and I'm like, how the hell did I get here? Like, I didn't even, and that's actually your brain, like your autonomic system, just reacting to things. You're not actually stopping to think about it. So stop to think and ask yourself those questions. Is this important? Should I be doing this right now? Just looking through my notes. So other questions you can stop and ask yourself. When does this activity really need to be done? Is there another resource or method to get this activity done? So, we have a great team. So can another teammate of yours take on a responsibility of running an Emerald to Diamond group with you? That can be something that can help. Another question you can ask is, what is the potential impact of this activity on your goal? So is this activity that you're doing going to ultimately get you to that goal that you want? So know what matters most and act on that. So this leads into choice 2, which is go for extraordinary. And that really is basically getting your goals and knowing your why. But what they did with this, if you can see this, is just defining your purpose. And they did it more as knowing what your role is. So for us, we did it, with Beachbody. I'm trying to just look where my roles were. So for instance, my roles were, I'm a Beachbody coach, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm a friend, and I'm an athlete. So I love working out, fitness, all that kind of stuff. So those are my roles. What do I want those roles to be? So as a wife, I want to be a loving and supportive wife. So I know that for that role, I need to have playing time for my husband. I can't be spending all my Beachbody time and he's going to be sitting there on the couch like, hey, like, did you forget about me? Like, you married me. And that has happened a couple times where he's like, how about me, your husband over here? So you have to identify those roles that are important to you. And you have to know what you want to be to those roles. There are some Beachbody coaches that only want to make $100, $200 per week. But for somebody like me, for my Beachbody coach role, I want this to be my full-time job, helping people and supporting my family through Beachbody. And how will I support myself through is by doing those activities And for Beachbody, it's, inviting, doing the 3 vital behaviors, doing my workout, and doing my personal development. My activities of being an awesome wife are doing date nights, is spending, one-on-one time with my husband without the computer, without my cell phone, without messaging people. So really disconnecting from the technology and focusing on my husband. So choice 2 can really be about what your goals for just doing it for Beachbody, knowing what your goals are for this. And, we do know those activities that we need to be doing on a daily basis to help us achieve that goal that we want. All right, choice 3. Now this is really cool, and I wish I had the video, but I'll also give the video to Joanna. Joanna, do you know how much time we have left? Or it didn't do 10 minutes yet?
No, it didn't do 10 minutes yet.
Okay. But they showed a really cool video. Let me get choice. They didn't have it really good here. But I don't know if you can see my little booklet here. Choice 3 is schedule the big rocks first. Don't sort gravel. So the video was, they had like a big, I'll take this. Take my plant out of my container. So say we had gravel in this little container and it was piled up to here with like little rocks, right? And then we try and put big things on top of it. What's gonna happen? It's gonna overflow. So the thing behind this concept is all those little gravel are like phone calls and emails and messages and watching our favorite TV show and all those little things that necessarily aren't going to get us to our goal. Whereas if we put the big rocks in first, let me get something that might actually fit in this thing. All right, and then we plan the little stuff around it, it actually fits in the container. So what it's saying is that you want to be scheduling the important things first. So schedule your date night with your spouse. Schedule when you're inviting. Schedule your workout. Put those big things in your calendar first before you schedule all those other little things that aren't necessarily as important to get you to your goal. And I do have a little picture to show you with that. Okay. So the way that Franklin Covey taught us to sort the big rocks or schedule the big rocks and don't sort the gravel is by spending 30 minutes, and they said do it on Sunday. So you're going to spend 30 minutes every Sunday where you're scheduling those big rocks, and then 10 minutes every night to kind of close out your day, take a look at what you're planning, and see where you can fit those little gravels around those big rocks. And this has, when I first started this, I'll be honest, I haven't been doing this every single week. It is one of those things that you have to practice and really follow through with. But once you can start doing it, it really takes away from almost like that anxiety and that stress that you're always constantly thinking in your head. Am I getting things done? Am I going to forget about this? Am I going to remember this? When you kind of have that known time of when you're going to look at your week and actually go through your day and see what you didn't do, see what you needed to do better, and what, all right, if I didn't do it on Monday, where else can I place this? Can I do that task on Tuesday? All right, so choice 4 is rule your technology. And this is where I'm going to show you guys how I schedule the big rocks and how I put the gravel all around it. And I'm going to show you my Google Calendar. If you guys do not have this, it's super simple. All you need is a Gmail account, and you can have Google Calendar on your computer. It syncs with your phone, your iPad, everything else. So let me share my screen with that one. Yep, there it is. Okay, it doesn't look so pretty. Oh, it's not showing my tasks. Okay, well, here you can see you can plan out your entire week. So like I said, on Sunday nights is when you would sit down for 30 minutes and plan out what you're going to be doing. It's not showing me something that I want it to. But you can sit down and plan out exactly those big rocks. So, you know, for example, MHS for me, that's Morristown High School. So that's I call it my real job. So I block out, obviously, the huge chunk of time that takes away of my day. I plan out my workout. I plan out when I'm checking in with my groups. I plan my invites and my Facebook posts. And then that's when you can kind of go around and squeeze other little items, like, you know, on today I had lunch with my friend Amanda, so I was able to squeeze that in. So you can see, like, in this block of time here, I have time to do something else. But I have to make sure that I'm getting all of these big things in before I can squeeze in having lunch. You know, this Saturday coming up, I'm honestly going to be working on my blog. So that's just all my blog posts that I'm going to be doing my workout in the morning. I know I only have one date night, but I'll take Friday as a date night. And what's really cool with the Google Calendar is that everything's kind of color coordinated. So you can, you know, I have my work in red. I have Beachbody stuff in blue. I have like me and Dave's time in pink. And then here I have like the actual time I review my following day. So doing like a little 10 minutes at night to see what I did for the past day and see what I'm doing the next day. And then on Sunday night I already have planned, you know, the 30-minute calendar in here. I'm sorry, the 30-minute time I'm going to be planning my calendar going forward. I don't know why, but it was working. On the right-hand side, you actually can put tasks here, so you do not forget those little rocks that need to be going on. So if you're thinking of creating a video, or you want to do blog posts, or you just want to, you know, you have to pick up your laundry, you can actually put it on the side here. Just give me a moment and let me see if I can, if anyone knows Google Calendar and wants to speak up and show me how to find it.
Rose, can I ask you a quick question while you're trying to find it? Did they steer you more towards doing like an online kind of planning system versus pen to paper?
They said if you were doing computer or all tech, go all tech. So if you're going to be writing like a to-do list and your calendar, have it all be on electronics. If you were going to write it on paper, have your calendar and your to-do list on paper. So do it all on paper, or do it, don't like mix and match things.
Got it.
Because then
a lot of us are pen to paper people. At least on my team, I know we're really pen to paper people.
Rose, is it under agenda or more?
Go over to where it says tasks on the left and click the button that says tasks, I think. Check it off.
I don't see tasks on here. Am I just completely
over to the left where it says January and it's got your schedule, or it's got the scroll down and
check. All right. Okay, cool. So you can just add your tasks here. So I'll put photos, and it saves it, and then you can just exit out when it's done. So I like this, how it kind of puts both side by side. But if you are like pen and paper, just have everything then on pen and paper. Have your calendar on a paper and have your tasks in that same notebook next to it. That way you can see both. And you can say, okay, I have time here at 11 o'clock where I can create my Facebook cover page. But you have to make sure that you're doing these big rock things first before you're going over to all this little stuff. Another thing that they suggested was to clean out your email. And we actually spent like 3 hours doing this at the seminar. They, just literally told us, wipe everything clean. If you can, put everything in folders that you want to keep. And when you get an email, and this is why I like Gmail too, is you can actually make your email an actual event on your calendar. So if you have your 10 minutes of time when you're looking at your emails and you don't have enough time designated to complete whatever task that email entails, you can make it a spot on your calendar for you. So I think that's really cool. Because a lot of times, we're scrolling through our email and it's a mess. And I know some people that have like thousands of emails in their inbox. If you can sort that, do one thing for Beachbody, one thing for weddings, another folder for your household, whatever categories you can try and split that up in with your emails. Another really cool thing was unenroll me, UNROLLME.com. Go there and it will unenroll you from all those crappy emails that you're getting from subscriptions. And I've actually spent a lot less money shopping online because I do not get all of those sales coming in my email. So it's actually helpful in more than one way. You save some money. But that will help a lot with all that clutter that you get in your email. That way, designate 10 minutes in your day to go in that email, see what you have, and that's it. A lot of people go back and forth checking their email every day, like once an hour. Do you know that really does stop you from whatever you're doing, to where if you just combine that to one specific time during the day and plan it right, your day's gonna, you find out that you have a lot more things planned. Oh, and I don't know if you saw that little thing that popped up. Gmail will actually tell you, hey, listen, you have a 9:30 p.m. appointment. So that's pretty cool too. So that's choice number 4, was ruling your technology. Don't let it rule you. Kind of like what I said before too, when you're with people, really try and be in the moment. Get away from the cell phone, turn it off, stop messaging. Have those times with your family members and your kids and your spouse. Have that one-on-one time, because when people see that you're texting and you're not paying attention to them, that pisses them off. It's not right. And your relationships can really be damaged from that, I do know a couple of Beachbody coaches that don't do it right and have gotten divorces from, they have a killer Beachbody business, but they're not married anymore, whether that's fully Beachbody related or not, but that's not up to me. So anyways, try and put your technology.
We have 8 minutes left, so I don't know if we want to move on and leave time for question and answer and stuff.
Okay, last choice is choice number 5. Let me pull that up real quick, and then we can leave like 5 minutes for questions at the end. Okay, so choice 5 is fuel your fire, don't burn out. We need that time to relax. We need to obviously eat. We know that as Beachbody coaches. Eat at least 4 times a day. Don't go without, 3 hours without eating, or else you're going to be cranky. You're going to be sleep deprived. And you're just not going to be able to function properly. So make sure mainly this is about not burning out, of taking care of yourself. So if we go back to that, the quadrants that I had, one of those was quadrant 4, where it's not important and not urgent, like TV watching. But you know what? Sometimes we need our favorite TV show. We deserve to be able to watch, Revenge. I love that show. So I'll use Revenge. That can be one of your actual Q2 times, the time that's planned to be watching your favorite TV show. That's okay, because that's a time for you to enjoy, unwind, relax. So that can totally count because it's planned and it's something that you're going to enjoy. So you do have to not always be so hard on yourself, but just, plan time for that. I even did this. I just went to a massage place and I just bought like a whole crap load of massages. And that's my time to decompress. And now I can plug it into my calendar. And you really don't want to get burned out. So, Friday nights, no matter what, I do not do any Beachbody work. I just don't. Even if, we're not actually going out for a date night, we're just staying home. Like, that's no Beachbody. I'm taking the night off to clear my mind and all that fun stuff. So I tried to do as best as I could. So we'll open it up for any Q&As. Anybody, questions? We have 5 minutes, so don't be shy.
With regards to social media, do you like Facebook the best, or do you find, okay, I just started, I know I'm like jumping into the future here. I just started an Instagram account, and I'm kind of wondering if I really need to do Facebook, Instagram, and then I kind of am fooling around with Twitter. I just kind of feel like it's
Too much of all
yeah.
over. I would definitely, if you're looking to go into Instagram, focus more of your time on that. And maybe you're just checking Facebook for messages or checking Twitter for messages. But if you're really looking to build on your Instagram and you see your focus on Instagram is going to get you to your goal, so if you think that's going to open your network, if you think that's going to get more customers coming to you or getting more coaches, then put more time towards that and don't try to cut yourself in half.
Okay.
And put yourself in too many things, because then you're going to burn yourself out with social media.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Rose, that was awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Franklin Covey has always been like one of those companies. I've been using their system for like years and years and years and years. I love their planners. So it's awesome that you're able to go to one of their seminars and really learn the structure about how to time manage and really kind of sift through the stuff that's not necessary and the stuff that's necessary and how to prioritize that. And thank you for sharing all those really valuable nuggets. That was awesome.
Yeah, I hope
Very
I
helpful.
gave a little things here and there. I mean, like I said, this was a 2-day, seminar that they did with us. So, I mean, I would have, and they even had like refresher courses, which I totally would have loved to take now, just starting with the new year and everything. But even just, doing this with you guys helped kind of refresh my brain of, stopping to think what's really important. And making sure I get those things done first before I do all the other stuff that really doesn't matter.
For sure. Absolutely. Well, thanks, everybody. I will post a link to this recording, and Rose, I'll send it to you as well. And again, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.